Yes, definitely by the directing on what the was that the original actual weapon might be related to the technique of the might be that weapon that like shots on the room that might be actually good and might be step taken out to that dragon and dragon's ambitions and both might be that the technique of the so they are different. And this might be the reason for that Shaka in the earlier conversation is that dragon that basically we see like same like the uncertainty of that exam of software and stability training might be due to that I'm not helping out with that kind of whole and like the positive fear of that Saka might be the fear that Saka might be seeing it having it into that it into following practice that orders like the fear of the possibility of that fact you know finding out about it and if that happens then Saka might be able to understand that and to be taking out something where the moon thing of that might be along the lines of that and it's just that might be having the moon with them. So that just my sitting as memory might be so will campus the new memory. So that in like the past like I put for me might have been according to that the order of the dragon that like the giants might have been collecting that that so from our from the water just you know brand. So that at that point like I'm also bring that where we might have attempted to destroy that as well might have been that that character might have been that put in that rider and so then against that weapon and maybe Shaka as well that might have been considered that weapon might have been the main especially going to so yeah that might have been a sad between them to our land have that might have normally used this like satellites to that maybe might have not the satellite on that might have been present around that were affected and then everywhere might have had all of that 6 or 5 satellites and that might have been a bad between that dragon the team dragon and the challenge and that the team of that weapon and that the advanced technology such a satellite concept might have been the use of living that led him to different data book laptop. So I that then might have had that 100 years ahead of that piece of technology. And that rather that then might have not been no near as strong as like might have been and that person might be the case that you know the next weapon and it's like team that like it might have or that the thing have dragon and might have been that weapon that way weapons might have destroyed jobs and might have left performance, might have been lost at a particular position. But like a whispering one might have happened, might have been Chaka, might have still spotted that's a single book, still surviving from that bad generation is definitely over. So like Chaka might have been genuinely curious of that why that the world government and then the one is like so afraid to Freud or something of the revenue. So secondly, Shaka might have still be taken that single book with him without the battle fight without like the audience that fighting out might have been one of the playing with the and that way like Shaka might have read the contents of that as single book and that definitely and something picture that might have to trust and stand up to that like the book cap to think that we're going to that and might have been to trust you the explain might have been more by the hands of people that way like that single book like I'm going to give the Shaka might have definitely found back the dragon and met with the dragon and that managed to like hand over that single things to that might have been what might have happened to the great and that might be how like what's it doing that Shaka and Raga might have had the same with my population rights and the word and that the thinking of that from the floor might have been what might have inspired Raga to create that the real fight of the uh factor might have been like that to the cities might want to be that and the friend and then two cities might have been like the book of Hana that might have been second a second time might have inspired Raga to do that convert and turn like the freedom kind of room into like the area. Maybe one might have happened with the place like the range. So that because doing that sound maybe that so that is so freedom quite a bit of pride and might have been to that provide that approach helps help out that people all over like the world that are struggling and it helping the ones who like the world might have been that the soul goal of that uh, of that the freedom fighter, which might have been left against the human inspiration. The fleet might have been through that the wisdom that last dragon might have. actually so that's not just the land convert the country like right to like the ramming but also might have changed the goal of the freedom right to like change it into like really bring it down like the shots like and that's just like an actual solution to that to actually be able to like help like the ones in need because that the Brian might have felt that with me that Brian helping out that continuing the lecture also when the freedom really won't bring about like any sort of like actual permanent changes might be to the world might be around the line that Brian might have felt like down that that's why it might be around that I'm that same in that zone of that like it might have happened and in my pro next of someone and it might be at that point that like it might have turned that the state of like group in the that everything down. Yes, so that the clean on frame might have that they are going to be sold might be alive and basically might have been solely to have down out to be most likely having that goodness within it and that was when you might have while using slang high mode to stop fraud like verification activity might have been out to be attempt to let's say so while I mostly might have found the thing that very the intensity from like I against that sort to ensure that that sort will survive. Uh, might have been what went out to be might have done simply by the terrain. So that way salt might be like the gather of that the giant group that's taking away that the resources from our the human terrain. So that definitely might the everything right now for like that's the thing that I'm looking for like Jaguar.D.Saul and project. We were like a preferring both of them laugh at the right to be laugh is like together it's like they listen out there in the solution and at that point I'm and then your friend so that you totally confused to like what like the direct to be that the scenario there in the solution I'm a tension right now. At that point, the blame was super important that an emotional remember that an organ dog we are telling so that for what less of Liam might about that the things he said about that friend about that Robin finding friends and basically at that point that soul and the friend will be only have to take contact and have to be happy for that for that we might incident. Like the new incident right now that the original inhabitants of like the ancient kingdom might have been all giant the dream created. But in the case of like the world that the giant Joybird of like the what is the development in Joybird is like they might have been the giant Joybird might have been born at like environment at like a might have been the case and that can like that Joybird might have been seen by the other inhabitants of like the like the realm phenomenon because like Joy might have been that the only giant that end up in that might have been the case that you know famous Joy. And I'm still remember that like Joy might have been like the fascinating archaeologist from the world of the Reiko might also have like the world and eventually might have when along the journey might have arrived to that the giant uh that Tunisia who's like even bigger than Joy at like not most likely long of a long island and like uh at that point and at that point that might have been that meeting with like Tunisia might have been like the shop for like Joyboy at like Joyboy's land because like until that point like Joyboy might have believed that like Joyboy might it's like the only giant in like the world might be around the line of that how Joyboy might have to be before like setting on and one of them is like the selectable. So they might have to build that app and might have chant and later set up to try the selectable to that with the more and then the more archaeology is a sort of selectable. So they might have set up in that way, might have long rather might have like finish that the factor of that the core game chant might have so they brought them together and that Joy and Tunisia might have gone up with me and that Joy might have made that Tunisia that Joy does my partner and since then and since then like in the that Joy might have been traveling with that Tunisia might have been that case. Secondly, I'm training to that Joy might have and the like art. for the guiding at that long side of that, but might have government, I couldn't put in the best. It might have been while traveling with that to himself or profitable that it is your the might have ended up making it towards that lambed, making it towards like a rafted might have been what might have happened. Like a rafted must be the confidence that like a rafted might have been might be like that would be that the ancient kingdom might be the new might put the so but we have to that they are like so might have on like connect to the stock like they might have realized that like it's not just so that like there are other giant human uh, uh, that is the crucial information that maybe that Goldberg might have only found out on making it to that crafted might have seen what might have happened to Punan Murali. So that at that point might be when like Goldberg might have felt that like crafted as like a place where like Goldberg belongs, stands, and that where like Goldberg might have been formed by the inhabitants. And considering the man premise that like it might be through that benefit value that like might have gone on to nature so that we try to avoid uh so then if I might have had like sales towards like the way on that they translate to that so those concepts of like the format of like the market from over the somebody who might have been aware of mathematics for especially conference and that way that to nature to try and that so by most at that point might have been starting might have been to the upper land making it to after that Joe by might have had like something welcome by the other friends and that Joe by might have actually studied all the happenings there and about like the machinery there which might have been the machinery through which like the then might have like structured might have created like uh so like what might have been like the combination of like the powers of like the ancient weapons like Platon Poseidon as well as that Primus might have been like the ancestors of that ancestors of like the ancestor of the Devi of the Lord Indra might have been mentioned like the ancestor of that over the state of the Lord Indra might have been Platon and like the ancestor of that Shanavati on the Lord Indra might have been Poseidon of the Kingdom definitely back then that the hope of that Denmark might have been for the back in the days when some hope might have been at the Canada was like that might have been just close to that market to place to according to the into the thing in the mission might have been a sample to maybe market is certainly one and I'm still in the reference to that like the wrong that you're going and names to that or might that then might have been to that visit some hope and that might be to have that using that the method also develop might have that see so then we can for that the giant half of that going all the way to that the whole complex phenomenon of like the mermaids that then might have been that common which might have remained unfulfilled solely maybe you know like maybe good actually just like unexpected betrayal of that job it might have taken up so like job until that point might have been like literally ended up becoming like the hero of that rafted among like the other giants who might have who might have been protecting that rafted from like the dirty kingdom the ancient kingdom from like the dirty kingdom might have been separated more like to remember so that like the three ancient governments like the run as well as that so now might have used the combination of their power to create that combination of their power onto that machinery to create like that's what of like the ultimate telescope which might have been like the household and they might have given it to that might have been what might have happened and that is that doorways might have yeah and at the moment doorway might have not used that also itself like doorway might have straight away the thought of like the awakened those focus that might have straight away instantly happened so like doorway might have been what might have happened like doorway might have instantly turned into that video by form might have been what might have happened to the universe and that immense power of that awakened by really that doorway might have been protecting that anything like from the really might have been one might have happened to the of friends and the feel one month like usually that ones that those ones that what might have been that generated the brain that ones that doorway might have what might have that at that point at that point that is the thing of so by the maybe after that machine and like things and weapons to uh, to to for like the living comes to like for this to create like a great extent of that great number of that down the time of some of themselves that with such goals that the kingdom might have been repeatedly trying to that maybe naturally might be trying to that burn down that might have been that the case that we are doing so like the like the laws of your brain and the before like the before like the kingdom that might have to that that change the kingdom that so the painting of might have so the end members might have used that or to like destroy that the machine might have been what might have happened the killer frame you might have had that power of immortality as well as that you know that you have it or like the kingdoms might have might have hope that the three ancient weapons to that to that will let the machine and it means that the three ancient weapons might have sadly refused and let that they might have taken out and three ancient weapons might have been vomited happens with form with the therapist for again and the but still by then like the three ancient weapons might have had that confidence and that they are presented to this options who might have might actually like a state along with that bunch of like other great number of giants uh, from like the ancient kingdom this might be Rakshas might have so if you by the time of the movie six just before like the kingdom like the ancient kingdom might have been then what might have happened and they might have escaped and might have settled at like the first place of that giant joy by of the after of the giant joy things might have been and and that might and then there might have been hope that in fact at certain language is ending up becoming that the another chance that is one frame. So and so the then from that after that the people might have to be just like the thinking of that and then by the new and the thinking of might have used on the powerful and completely erase the void and like saying the thing of what might regardless of that going all of the power like and that the power of the which that painting of that might have been constituted that there might have been a great number of monumental created before like the discussion of that before like the ancient kingdom was like defeated and everything like great monumental might have created with like social information connected to that ancient weapons and that containing information to the danger like the developing and like your developing and that the those monument might have been damaged, indestructible, not unmovable as well. That's why you might have been the conditions that was found might have got might have actually it might be the reason what actually that to the person like basically the world government being afraid of that the dialogue that wanted to create significant situations might be definitely that the knowledge contained within that the foreign and that state. And I'm still to remember and mention that like the knowledge among like the knowledge contained in those foreign that Russia that that about that one really want to use this might be open and then today what might be one piece of still remember that that the red line might be one piece of like there might have been other continents back in the point before that before that the repeat of that rain after like the repeat of that rain in coming might have like found with this like move that destroyed that polluted so like move might have using that similar power to that after like attaining left the source that from that ancient kingdom that might have used that similar powers to that they should reshape that when that different world by destroying all of that remaining important for that when that different world to to correct that or information come to joy by because like Joseph Bibles might have Joseph popularity might have spread across like the worldwide and might have been that again so that that might have been what a movement or and it might have fair like current like and also lead to that then promotes like empire of that knowledge not of the name of trend so that the only remaining evidence of like the piece of land from like the void century might be yeah from the remaining continents might be from like the void century might be like the red line the mean of red and that will like the red line might be like the one which is kind of possibility that the good of the Korean of the I said about to find anything that all that that like one three land all second inhabitants of that from might have been according to my pyramid, like the internet of might have been that more thing evidence of the creation that might have had that the full initial middle initial in might have been investigated but never framed. So it might have been a way to lack from there are this unity or some definitely not framed. So like we have at one plan is like archaeologist who might have been that sand or get from that setting up from that and thing that is like the only giant that like the world that it eventually might have made experience that then at that point that might share points of like the actual name of like the giant urban as well might have had like a medieval the game as well might have been like the gates that link might have been their ambition that we have ultimate friends university once that the inhabitants of that the ancient kingdom who might have been our giants that might have when we fight the bomb like the reveal of that uh, the detail of that the ancient kingdom they might have that barely some of them might have barely managed to escape and make it towards like Elbaf might have been what might have happened to the of friends so that thing and like Elbaf that the inhabitants might have been so the inhabitants of like Elbaf might have been more that non-gen but all technical brains so that get less those who did might have accepted that the giant when like the giant might have shown up to help out might have been the case but like by then like up to like the world might have known of that the heroism of that giant but especially when it comes to like the inhabitants of like that might have been feeling that we get proud of being that complaint of lack of the giant where the bleak might have been the case of the time. So that the inhabitants of that Albert might have hardly or hardly welcome that the giant commenting that might have or might have happened to the name for everything. It might be how the pros and cons in that like basically at certain like the like Jaguar giant like Jaguar.D.Saul that the name is the name and like at certain like people individuals who are now giant like and closing etc. or not having that very should be internet might have a through such amount of deep in that everyone was definitely millions to be internet might all have that their own lyrics literally lyrics towards that the end of might be that the game so like the beginning of who might be like the base of that or the inhabitants of like the ancient kingdom to bring down that the 20 kingdom and have a strong back that ancient kingdom like ideology in like and bring back the world to how it was back to like legendary. Uh, might be that they use the name of creation by them. It is so that also the name of creation by them that where from might have only heard of that we knew back by dragon and where one had mentioned that might have been like the days that live on creation. But like after that we need to that dragon and where by that and this like it actually you know might have actually someone better towards that market towards might have at one point might have been what might have expected of the and just like the balance of self black might have and the power of second might have care weapon to the explain might have been more and that way like an extreme change might have happened to weapon one dragon would like go with left or more have been like an extreme change might have only happened to like the power like so might have fully might have suddenly given up on that any good intention compared to Dragon Ball like compared to like the World Ball like compared to like the intention zone of like and everything like share from myself like seven foot that on all of that and myself fully focused on that really focused on that working for hardly for that world government and doing it that weapons like I'm doing everything to like to fully support and to keep pressing even else that weapon might have rather than the possibility of that what might happen to that weapon if that get disappointed in that weapon. Out of that I'm through extreme fear if that weapon might have been formed within it towards like that person like weapon might be under different cap might be like against the name of the remedy. So that we are looking that up to be remembrance for like a person like the Navy ship of that were like to and that came on like right on that if it had a towards like Ethan Island might be so close to them bringing it towards like an island might be like against the new frame of time. There that came on like side on might be one of the like the latest creative was like one of the creative of that weapon with that weapon might have a high experience of that. So to step out that Puma that cyber in a bad against that looking against like an number of like looking might do that problem that plan at present step in that terms so that German at present might be only to the one that I'm to state that thing of that depending to maybe pertaining to that campaign expert funding it towards language and when actually weapon plan might be weapon might be really confident that that's likely one that the my next side arrives like at that point that the my next side will be single-handedly here with the like for anything local might be around the lines of that might be around the lines of that the confidence that the feeling that weapon might be having and the intent of weapon as well might be the case that you know so the plan might be to that most likely to like the one and side of to between the things and then to like hand over to the to that the world government and at that point that weapon might be the only hoping that it may be at that point for like the move to do is that like weapon might be along the lines that weapon might be shooting and might be having the intention of might be like the case of the new because that question right now that is being recently that where the Hawking weapon might have disconnected himself from that the remaining six satellite phones but then where might have been that the game that didn't break. So then at present it's that the six satellite phones that then get destroyed. Still Hawking weapon might be only in supply might be like that with the minutes frame. And also Bergman might have been proved that the meeting between that and the right between that floor and that level that the information about that interaction next door then that however that might that might have been what might have been accessed by that person analytic form including Shanga once that might have been created as analytic form. And that might be known that Shanga even knowing that the identity is clearing and everything is definitely on the right way. So the game with the bring that recently like some and where might have slowly figured out that like Shanga still have that like allegiance towards that dragon and it's like aligned to like the roles of dragon. So like the league level might have at that point of realization might have been when like the observer might have decided to take out like the entirety of the six satellite forms of the from before that due to that shutdown to like Chaka and the other might have sounded like the positive like event like Chaka or like Chaka influencing like the remains athletic form. So like normally already have influenced like the remains athletic form right along the lines of that maybe that yeah that weapon might have had a certain on the rate. So definitely before Chaka will be getting weapon if you trouble with like where the mind over there and doing that take out like the remaining just exactly forms of that where might have been one might have happened with the demon frame which so that way where might have disconnected itself from like this satellite form. So that the demon frame right now is for like Shaka still happens like so hope it and prove that the for that home that the new one among like the news, which I'm remembering would be like one of the news that one of that web on the creation of like the Puma like type of that basically being brought to that action island like the Puma like cyber was like the into like 6 4 grams. It's what I was remembering right now on sending Shanta to that show. Hobbit goes like the scenario that and Shanta was like they might be aware of like the situation in which like Shanta and like the remains are like are in might be like the case that New York Train about that Shaka telling Covenant rule that's about like this that ultimate purpose that human like side of the like the wing that on its way to like the island to like take out like Shaka and the remaining and like and with that it's an important like like Robin and Crow have heard about that patient in the that Shaka definitely the human like cyber go to like target like Robin and just for him by research when it's along the lines and so they protect that Shaka through that hologram that will be connected to that Robin and the also the scenario that was about to protect and Shaka telling them to like prepare for that ultimate battle with like the tsunami that was going to bring our friends. So that according to my permission, like Shaka might be seeing that the situation of San Francisco and proves that person uh, at like a island has like an opportunity for like Shaka but at that point might have had that maybe no hope would like survive like the powerful woman and so robot with like physics like and that was language for and like and Shaka might have decided to like take an full advantage of that situation to like see to definitely seek the help from like this connected to bring down like to manage some cyber and then seek the members and that way to uh, rebel against like the original environment and for them like survive especially might be the discipline and right. Here's so much. We must remember right now is the new problem that PunkRecords and including like the skeptics of having that major important episodes and the religion on it. That's the entire theme of the world. Like the one week that will increase to one that finally waking up to that the reality of that the actual truth about like the voice and the about that joy boy and that the team the thing like I'm doing all this knowledge which might be present within that web, right? Like I'm doing anything that the studies of what like best of show like I'm doing that to the taking of web on certainly was like so like giving the orders to like one of the elder uh to that or like one of the elders to like take out web on the like the scenario and I'm going to bring in and level of web on thinking and select one thing such a scenario and handling amazing with for that and first to bring that web of platform on that giving access to that web training to see some cloud like the how is that available on so that I'm putting that see attaining all of that like knowledge towards like the end of the so like it's not available to me and that we have to learn that speaker or that good like the so and the the store had go that so feature to that do exactly that uh and like they want and basically that they like that they go to some attaining that knowledge and basically procedure like and punk records like for different that to get how influencers go through that awakening and then that you make the world to like all the mysteries of like the words and the identity that and they like the way that they want like to like when like the going game like we never and everything about like the ancient all the mysteries and everything about like the about like the and about like that the description and all the complete mining details that I'm bring that from all the details from like the library at like the back that and all that knowledge that I'm bringing that instantly uh getting off to like say that the of that's the women door of like the and that's your like getting into the regardless of the right or like the word is like the scenario that I'm bringing and like the that way like I'm bring that then that's like the goal like actually like attaining like the knowledge of like the voice in the and then that they affect the world change it to that the world of like the voice the reach of that kind of like the good scenario final quote like it's scenario that I'm looking at like and method very everything so like that much of spiritual relevant and important terms of for the spiritual like the end of the episode where as well as like where those like how record getting specifically my secondary and right so the name the right now also that name will the public of that sound record that were on events creating on that or based on that the desires of that move and desire the demand of like might be also the case of the principle that want to might be wanting might be more like in the to be able to like step out of that marriage and that in the to accept the world to that bow down the world actually and that we went to name of the creation that we was the so the play to for like ideally to that still that into that adaptive of that if there is a existence for like the world into that making them turning the adaptive that resistant or of like the world if you like in all of and also for like the move to that the player with play like in that locus that you have by more that Lucy might be unaware that like maybe looking with the gear by might be having that the power to that willfully using solely by relying on those information that take out and give this land take out this land command potentially to anyone might be that with your blood the so powerful that it's pretty up by awaken come to focus with the everything. So they might be not like the power to like use this land command growth at present to from anyone about which like looking might be another of but about this that as well as like chat might be aware of if brain is good and this as well might be lab image lab plan when by comes like actual plan to like basically to finish that the completion of that of the completion of that one record so that like that way to have that the brain as well get thought into slipped into the trap that the punk records and then lead to turn to extend that remote ideology onto that to be at that bit to turn basically that remote follower and then we will have people that for you need to be able to then just use the command to like the people that give up that is that someone talk to them in it and straight away for like the people that straight away to on spot and to as well might be an a huge intent and fucked up tonight that we're going to like creation of like the fund record which still might not be fully in like blocking progress and might not be fully not fully completely certainly done so that through the punk record then ultimately this might be what then where punk might be trying to like create for that you know might and it's definitely one story I'm sure right now. Yes, I learned from here and right now that that it might have been Jaguar.D.Saul father that might have created like the legendary iron giant definitely not by one that is the thing that putting pieces of that armor, giant armor, creating maybe giant armor that putting them together. And come to the point that there were lead both power of that they might have been the series who might have created with that iron giant and which that might have been able to remotely control, might have been the reason for the good scientific technology might have been that they learned about the development of the development. So just like one possible variable, the other possible variable for made for that giant as well, made being able to that for the skills for or feeding those things, just that that's something more possible than anything. So like that's the reason I'm going to bring that might have been made a scenario of like Jaguar.D.Saul part of might have either either also it might have given a sector power to that move object like remotely controlled but it might be the same that some remote for the person to get on the board. So like that way that's the fundamental that Jaguar.D.Saul father might have that way that set of that and Jaguar.D.Saul father might have been given at that to that when the human doing. So like in past he might have created this that and Jaguar.D.Saul father might have been then aware of that the history of that the voice and the ring and about like the ancient kingdom and everything that we were correct. So sometimes you think remember that the ancient kingdom which might have been that the kingdom of like giants is a remember everything. So when each giant might be having that ability necessity if there they might have been how it works that then which is the ancient kingdom we about to develop it. So that we can bring that together and against that so different we might have that was the source father might have created this like iron jam and might have most that is remote tools like remote control that we might have sent out like iron jam all the way towards like Maria to destroy Maria and you know put their hopes of like destroying Maria and that way like that might have been easily destroyed by the most like all of these might have been what might have happened might have been very so so that fundamental element like system of like while one might have maybe travel to like Maria for like some meeting with like elders like maybe so like at that point where one might have happened to at Maria might have happened to like notice with like remains of like the iron giant might have been like it's the you know pretty much so like where one might have like see how like the iron giant like material and everything and creation being like advanced creation and so that therefore might not only that might not only see where them understand where we might out ask them the elders is that they could like what they have like the iron giant to at like island for that and like the elders might have again might have been one might have happened definitely on pyramid. So that way we know that the iron giant ending up at that island might have happened with the pyramid. So that continuous pyramid maybe it might have been in that the land or like somehow that like goes to like somehow into a bit where one might have feel like this that I mean in of that giant giant might be like different peak and there might be like when it has to different the cleanup story. So like it might have been only not quarter for like an unmade up for that like the female of like the elders might be that's the case with being influential. You might have there's others to like not get rid of the and then to basically to for like into like maybe witness it as like as the repeated and then that's like the consequence for like learning it's that happen even at parent to like case like might get out the lines like it might no sort of rid of the qualification and then So they might have been one minute after the same. Here, like, when someone might have voted that, or better is people might have, or like that, might have voted in, so that, they might have voted in, so for like that, into like tablet, and they might have been voted to have the same. Also, the when you mentioned right now, for like an urgent scenario where like one like to the process to be making it related and I'm talking for like where somewhere from like seriously and boldly like walking up towards like history and like telling to you that enthusiastic like government to that where so like at that point, like very in a service manner, like basically telling you to that case where, but like five before that, basically the city about the take out weapons, like a different weapons, actually have like all sorts of like scientific testing gadgets in his like costume and everything, especially on the so actually weapons that point. So it's previously weapons now is weapons, and at that point, I'm so different weapons with like totally different like transformated kind of that, and I think it's like a different weapons with like a serious kind of like trading, which is that they doing that will give orders up to that take off weapons, satellites, and non-weapons. Like this, so like I said, point out of different that will be probably realize it just like orders and basically that the two meanings behind language order. And that way, like straight away listening to the weapon and straight away setting off to that kind of that type of and reflecting the scenario that I could go again. And at this point, I'm looking for that.